Good morning, Codger Biker here. Just having a cheeky little ride out in the winter. Nothing much to report other than it stopped raining at last, which is remarkable really. And just to show Campbell 01 what it looks like not to have snow. Only joking, Rob, it's better than rain. So having a ride out with my good pal John, who's behind me on his Triumph. We just decided to have half an hour out as soon as it stopped raining. Still very greasy underfoot, so not been doing much riding, which is why I've been quiet. There's John coming alongside now, so we're just taking it a bit steady. John's bike's old school, no traction control, though he's going to change that soon thanks to Triumph, possibly, but that'll be a surprise for a vlog later in the year. I'd suggest around about March. For myself, we've been going around lots of bike shops just to have a look at bikes. Had a look at the Tenere 700, beautiful bike. I still think it's too high for me, and on a morning like this I do prefer to have rider aids. Call me what you like, but it is a beautiful bike. I'm not ever going to say, oh, my bike's better than your bike. I'm not getting into that. I'd like both. But the bike that has impressed me the most, and I keep going back and sitting on it and looking at it, is the Royal Enfield Himalayan. I really like it. I've been looking at second-hand ones, there don't seem to be any, but I know there's a BS6 coming out in India anyway with the newer engine, so perhaps when that one arrives in the UK, if it does, I don't know whether that's just for the Indian market or whether we'll get it, maybe there'll be some second-hand Himalayans, because it would not be my first bike. It would be just to covet and possess. I just really like it, you know. When I'm on that, I am Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones. I don't know how it works. Must have the Harrison Ford mode built into it. Yeah, right. These are British roads in the winter, as you can see. Lovely roadworks everywhere. Lots of diesel spills. Possibly a little bit of ice from this morning under trees and things. Wet leaves. So you just have to be a bit careful. Particularly on a bike like John's, which is it's old school, but you know, you ride to the bike, don't you? I take a few liberties on my bike, I must admit, and the traction control's caught me a couple of times. I will insert a clip of that here if I can find it. So I guess having all the rider aids does encourage you to ride in a different manner. But is it the Missing and Fly rule? It says at some point physics takes over, so still need to be careful. Yeah, that's about it really for the news. It's just a quiet time of the year. Lots of family stuff. This is the first time I've been out for a while. Oh, but it is nice to be out. And this is when I realised how much I love my bike. 790 Adventure, what a great bike. I'm hoping in a couple of weeks, or as soon as it's released in England anyway, to have a go on the 390 Adventure. I've seen a couple of reviews in India who seem to have it first. I think it's made out there, so I'm really looking forward to having a go on that. But more than that, my sights are going to be on the 490 Adventure this year. I just hope that they don't make the same mistake of putting the seat height too high, because I'm just not going to be interested then. It's interesting that on the review that I saw, a couple of Indian guys, one of which, the main reviewer, was 5'6", he said the bike was too high. That's the 390 Adventure for the Indian market. So you know, I'm hoping that at some point the message about going higher and higher with these bikes will get through. It's okay if you're off-road, but when you've got to go on-road, because they are mainly road bikes, adventure bikes, then you know, you need to be able to at times get your feet down. Well, I do anyway. I did like that Tenere 700 though. What a beautiful bike that is. So, just coming into the town of Widnes. It even says so, look, Widnes, in the district of Halton. Not for any reason, just to get the bike out for half an hour. Even in rain mode, Ludwig feels happy. I'll notch him up to street in a minute. Just trying to get a bit of warmth into the tyres. The question is, if I did move to a 490 Adventure, would I ever need a Himalayan? Very similar capacity, although I imagine the performance of the KTM would be way more. So I don't know. Oh, and in other news, my old friend Sean got in touch. I hope you listen to this, Sean, because you got me all excited now. That doesn't happen very often. And he tells me he still has one of my bikes from the 80s in a shed in Lincolnshire, and that the shed is dry, and if I want it to restore, then all I've got to do is go and pick it up. So I'm just waiting for confirmation on that, but it has been standing or leaning, I'd guess, for 35 years. So I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a very little bike, and it was made in East Germany, so some of you might be able to guess.
Mach nicht so ein Krach, Mädel.
So if you're watching, Sean, just give me the nod and I'll be there next day. Don't worry about it. I'll come pick you up. We'll go round and by hook or by crook get it into the back of my car. Really looking forward to that. Quite exciting. Probably take me about a year to do it up, but what a year. There is a possibility that we might be doing a comparison between the Tenere 700 and my KTM 790S at some point. I'd be interested to see what we think together. John's entirely unbiased. In fact, he's not even a fan of KTM, so would be nice to know what he thought of the two. But that's for another day. Today, just a little bit of dry tarmac there, look. Shall we hit street mode? I think we shall. Street mode and our quick shifter, made for dry roads. It has actually turned out to be a lovely day. I thought it was going to be cold, but it's not cold at all with the heated grips. A lot of people say the KTM heated grips aren't hot enough, but honestly they are. These are summer gloves with no lining at all. I just use the KTM heated grips on the highest setting all the time. I find them to be fine. Oh, look at that. Picking up some leaves. Major operation these days, that. Talking of leaves, what's the point of leaf blowers? Just don't get it. You blow leaves into a pile and then the wind blows and blows them all back again. Totally pointless. I had one once. Couldn't see the point. There's a make weight of drying your bike there, okay? Other than that, apropos nothing. Right, rambling now. Oh, here's somebody. Morning. Codger Biker is out. He was in a rush.